your fist to the air. Tunes Brothers everywhere. Rockin' loud, feel the sound. Tunes Brothers smashing ground. Whoa, rebels with guitars in hand. Raise your fist. Raise your fist.
Okay, welcome back into the Tunes Brothers, and a very big welcome, because I know they're going to be here, the Warning Army. You will know me from Victory Cast. I am Rob. That warning, do not read this, is Lewis, and we've got Dave from Australia, for those of you who are new to this channel. How you doing, guys?
Doing great.
Good.
I got the idea
right.
from a video I watched from Dr. Lady. He doesn't have it. Says he has a sign up on the back of his wall that says, "Do not read this sign." And all you can do is keep reading that sign. So that's why I did that. So just the viewer just keeps seeing it and they can't pull away from it.
Okay, so we're going to do the warning, finally. This is mostly a classic rock and hair metal channel. Once in a while, as you are finding out, we will throw something new in. Lewis, I believe, caught wind of this band from my Victory Cast channel. Dave, I just gave the virus to, and it's been a positive. He said basically everything I said right away, pointing out how enjoyable Pow is to watch, her smiles, this and that. Louis, your thoughts on the warning?
My thoughts is a kind of a mixed bag. I always thought they were just a heavy, hard kind of band with an occasional ballad. But as I went through their albums, they got way too many ballads that are pleasing, that are, that I don't care for. Pow's the one who mostly does the ballads. And and I liken them to Kiss in a way that their studio albums, these 4 or 5 that they have out, are better produced than the Kiss albums, but they don't come close to the live energy they have when you see them live. They're so much better live. They have more than enough material to put out a live album, which is probably not a thing they do these days, but I think it would be a big success if they just market it right and give it the right kind of name, and just if they could just pick the songs I like best, or you might like best, it's kind of maybe one ballad and that's it. Also like Kiss, they're still technically early days of Kiss. They're technically still a headline, an opening act most of the time. And when they play smaller venues, they could just do that show on their own. So that's all I have to say about the warning at this time.
Yeah, the live albums, I don't know. I don't follow enough modern music. I don't know if that's a thing anymore or not. The cool thing is, though, they do put out entire concerts, and then usually they'll put out a video for every song, even if it's not released live, for the most part. And I'm not saying every time. Dave, your thoughts on being new to this warning
away
train?
For a moment. My heat's too hot.
Well, I'm in the rabbit hole, and I think I'm going to get stuck in Wonderland because, wow. To me, this could be the I don't want to really say it, but this could be the most important band to rock in the last 20 years. I haven't been this excited to hear a new band in such a long time. And regardless of what Louis said, I love the ballads. I think Powell's voice is just, it's captivating. Every time she sings, I just want to hear more. So I actually love the ballads that they do on this album. I can't wait to see what the future brings. I think these girls could inspire a whole new generation to actually play rock, which, based on the music we get these days, is going to be really important.
Yeah, you're right where I was and still am, just not as rabidly, because it's been there, done that for me now, but this quickly became the most obsessed I've been with a band since Kiss. Just everything you watch is a new positive experience. The live stuff, I don't know about important. I think, yes, they could be. The problem is, and I hope I'm wrong, I think they've peaked in their relevancy, not fairly, because, and a lot of fans doing the reaction channel I used to do from other countries really get irritated when I act like the United States is the standard, but when it comes to music and film, it is. Fairly or not, what is big here becomes mega big. And then I'll have people come back, well, the Muse and this band and that band, they play 40,000. Okay, that's great in your country or somewhere overseas, but for the Warning to be Taylor Swift, they have to be big here. Doesn't matter how big you are in Europe or Mexico or some of these Japanese female bands. In those countries, you can play the Wacken Festival every year for the next 40 years to 100,000 people. That's great. You're sharing those numbers with 50 other bands. I hope I'm wrong and the music landscape here changes away from hip hop and the typical female auto-tune pop star. But until it does, I don't think any band becomes U2 again or Rolling Stones or Kiss or AC/DC or whoever, simply because the mainstream music in this country doesn't allow for it. Whether it's record companies or radio stations or whatever the grand scheme of it is. Does the Warning have that ability to be the biggest band in the world? Absolutely, but not without exposure here.
Do we want them to be there?
Well, with that comes a lot of bad things. Now, this is a real tight-knit group, family unit. So you'd think maybe they'd be preconditioned to overcome the inner fighting and the jealousies and this and that and the other that usually kill a lot of bands. But mega fame is hard to basically come out on the other side without all kinds of ugly warts. I would love it though. I mean, a world without Taylor Swift and Pink and all these atrocious female acts or hip hop artist of the month would be a great world to be in. I know, because we all lived in a world before that garbage occupied all of our airspace. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I'm not trying to offend anybody who's in another country, that your country doesn't matter. I'm just saying, when you look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and all the artists that are in there from other countries, they're massive in America. That's why they're in there, or were. Until that happens with this band, I don't see them selling 40,000 seats by themselves. I just don't.
No.
Could they? Absolutely. They definitely could. I just think right now the landscape is not fair for great new bands. It just isn't.
No, it isn't. And it's like it's all involved with money. You know, the bigger your record label is and the more money you, at least there was, now it's different, but there was a time that songs got a lot of airplay because the record companies paid the radio stations to play that song. And they pay them to lie, say, this is the most popular song in the United States. And it really isn't. It's just the most paid for song to be played, you know? And like I was listening, I went through Keep Me Fed, and I found a similarity with that and Kiss Monster. The material in Keep Me Fed is better than a lot of Kiss Monster, but the sound recording and quality is just the same. Overly loud, distorted, and heavy on the bass more than it needs to be. And I just couldn't enjoy the songs unless I listened to them really low, or not, you know, like maybe halfway or something. You know?
That album, I like a handful, of course, more. um, and a couple other ones they released, Automatic Sun, but they started dabbling way too much in that purposely distorted pop sound, the vocals, that have slight effects on them and all that kind of. It's just a genre I don't care for, but they do have gems on there that could be on error and stuff.
Some of the
I don't know.
songs would be better if they just removed the effects and
Yeah,
went straight to the song.
yeah. But they started dabbling, from what I got schooled by the Warning Army on my other channel, with other outside influences and producers and stuff like that. And they were trying to appeal to the younger female crowd, all of Taylor Swift and all these people, because mostly they have men our age that love this band. And there's a reason for that, because it's musically solid rock and roll.
Yeah.
Which we just don't seem to get here from things like, well, this is dating, but Creed and Nickelback. After grunge, everything that came out, even Disturbed and everything, it's so generic and cookie cutter. Theory of a Dead Man, all these supposed new rock / metal bands are so bland compared to something like The Warning.
Well,
it was so refreshing for me, and I know exactly where Dave's at now. I lived it about a year ago when I first got into it. It's a fabulous, fabulous ride.
well, for me, when the grunge was out and the big thing and all that stuff, and it never really was as popular as people think. It was, I forget, some guy owned about 8 radio stations, and he loved grunge and hated hair metal, so he made all the stations play the grunge, giving the illusion it was more popular than it really is. But the thing is, during the grunge era, 3 bands I enjoyed listening to, they were breath of fresh air: Green Day, Offspring, and Bad Religion. Do you know any Bad Religion? They got good tunes.
I don't, but I'm a huge Offspring fan, because they basically took punk into the metal arena.
Yeah.
Especially if you go back to like Ixnay the Hombre and some of their mid-year albums, they had a real metal production to it, and I just loved them.
Yeah, I like a little, like I could go through all the different albums and pick the songs I like and stuff. Green Day is kind of the same way, but I don't like Billy Joe's political viewpoint.
Yeah, he needs to stop that. He's an idiot.
He's a fucking idiot. Offspring doesn't say anything, so we don't know what they're thinking.
Well, they do now. Not in their music, but this last election cycle, without getting political, they started putting their foot in their mouth to a lot of people on my side, where I wouldn't listen to them for a few months because I was so irritated, mostly because they took one of their songs and redid the words to bash a certain political candidate. So,
yeah. And like Bad Religion, I haven't listened to them in a lot of years, but that lead singer's voice is so cool sounding. You got to check him out. 21st Century Digital Boy, whatever. The guy just got this cool, raspy voice. His voice sounds like 3 people.
Yeah, they made it seem like grunge was the only thing, and it wasn't. And make no mistake, MTV, before it became non-music television, played a big part in crushing hair metal and pushing the old grunge scene there. So, I mean, it was almost like a political hit job. Like if you watch politics, where everybody just decided, okay, this is what we're gonna push, so let's all sabotage something. And hair metal was sabotaged while grunge was pushed. And the rock music here in this country never recovered. And so when I started seeing some of these other bands on the Reaction channel from other countries, whether it was Sweden or Finland, or in this case, Mexico, it was so refreshing. But Dave, your thoughts on it all? You've been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
No, just listening. I mean, grunge was big here. I never got into it.
It was in Australia.
Yeah. But I mean, I think if you look through, that punk movement and the grunge movement, I think rock and roll in general needed a bit of a kick in the ass on both occasions anyway, because everyone was sort of just sounding the same. So I think it's always good to get something new come in, and, even if it just hangs around. But at the expense,
I understand what you're saying. Like when punk came through in the early 80s, late 70s, and had that little invasion, if you will. Same when disco came in. There's always a genre that comes in and shakes it up, but never has there been an elimination of everything else like we're seeing thanks to hip hop and auto-tune pop singers. It's like if you're not in that genre, you might have a prayer if you're country, but anybody else, forget it. I mean, with grunge, you still had bands putting out albums, whether they were up to the par with their earlier stuff or not. There's not even a medium for it now. If it wasn't for YouTube or things like Spotify, half of the bands I listen to, I'd never know. And I have to search them out. It's not like it comes up as an option.
Mm.
So I think it's an uphill battle.
Tidal as well.
What's that?
I'll plug Tidal.
Yeah, well, I just think it's an uphill battle for the Warning or anybody else for that matter, because it seems like the powers that be behind the scenes have decided and nothing else is going to get the chance. You can have all your YouTube videos all you want, but at the end of the day, that reaches a handful of people that sit around searching out a band. Same with Spotify. It's got millions and billions of people listening to Spotify or Amazon Music or whatever else, but most of them are just putting on a playlist for a genre they like or just today's music and put in whatever you want, and it's just background. The passion for discovering music isn't what it used to be. Certainly isn't what it used to be for following a band. The Warning Army is extremely rare, much I liken to Kiss Army, to where they're some of the most loyal, rabid fans you'll ever come across. But that's rare for any band now. I mean, you got your Swifties, but I guess, a bunch of 13-year-old girls don't carry much weight as far as, making something legitimate or not. I mean, it's all up to, mommy and daddy footing the bill for what they get to listen to. But I don't know. Like I said, I hope to hell I'm wrong, because the Warning, out of everybody I've seen, definitely could be the biggest thing.
Well, it's like my niece when she was, I guess, early teens. She loved One Direction, like every other little girl did, and then she liked a group called Panic at the Disco, and then she's into Greta Van Fleet, and that's been her longest lasting thing so far. So that might be her like band of choice throughout most of her years is Greta Van Fleet.
And that's what you're getting with Gen Z, right? There's no real loyalty. I mean, when we got into Kiss or the Who or the Beatles or whoever, you were a lifelong fan, man. You went to battle for that band. You got fights at school about that band. Now it's just whatever everybody else thinks is cool is your favorite band, and then next week that'll change.
Yeah,
I have no respect for that. I can't even imagine growing up in a time like that. But like I said, I hope something happens to the industry, because the Warning deserves their shot.
Yeah, they deserve a much higher plateau in the industry of popularity and everything, because they're really that good. I mean, they're massive talents of how they play their instruments and songs and everything else is really, really something to be reckoned with. Like when you did your Guns N' Roses, I watched this morning, I was thinking like, yeah, that album got really big and famous, all that. But then when you listen to like Wasp's first album, Poison's first album, Cinderella's first album, which came out years before, were so much better.
Absolutely.
Those albums are so much better.
Because Guns N' Roses, and we discussed it and you watched it, it's a head scratcher to all of us how the hype got there to begin with. Now, we're not taking away, it was really a great album for the time, but the musicianship wasn't there, like with Cinderella, like with Poison, like the bands you discussed. But again, that's just proof that what is musically best doesn't necessarily equal results. Guns N' Roses being one of the biggest bands on the planet is a living proof of that. I mean, the musicianship with that band, Slash is a great guitar player, but nobody's going to convince me Axl Rose is a great singer. The guy can't even, sing on key. But nevertheless, they were huge, and that's what happens pretty
Yeah.
much all through history. There were bands who really didn't deserve the the push they got compared to bands that were out at a similar time or even earlier that never got the push, and they should have. The Warning is definitely one of those bands
And
at the
it's
top of the list that should be being pushed by every radio station, every music outlet. Nobody would be disappointed. I'd be
and it's
willing to bet
all
that.
based on the label, the record label you belong to.
Yeah.
The more big and powerful your record label is, the more people are going to hear you. You know,
Which
like
is odd in a day and age where record companies pretty much don't do anything. I
no,
mean, they don't advance money for the album. They don't foot the bill for the tours. They don't do any of that stuff anymore other than just reap all of the profits from what people purchase from you. It's really a corrupt industry now. I'm not saying it was ever perfect, but I mean, people like Paul and Gene have said, new bands, good luck, because there is no money in it. That's why you see bands pushing merch so much and the asses in the seats. But even that has gotten so corrupt with the ticket brokers jacking prices to the point where real diehard fans can't even afford to get a ticket other than the nosebleeds to any band they want to go see, because these ticket brokers are buying up all of the decent seats and then turning around and marking them up 100% for sale. I mean, the whole thing about music is so tailored against any startup band. And I know the
Like,
Warning's not a startup band anymore, but you know what I'm saying.
yeah, they're still kind of categorized that, and like, because even though they have albums like 5, 6 albums, two EPs, and like 7 bodies of work, and over the last 4 or 5 years, they're still kind of a startup band because their people aren't getting the word as to who they really are, what they're all about. I was going to say, I can't remember, it was a Keel, Kel, or Kix, Kix. They One of those two bands. I remember seeing ads in like the rock magazines. They didn't sell their albums in stores. You had to mail order the album, and you wouldn't
Yeah.
even know what the heck it sounded like. But they just didn't want to have a middleman or whatever. They just, like, maybe they even had their own studio, and they made their own that first 2 albums or something to get noticed.
Kicks is a good example, right? Until MTV pushed Blow My Fuse and Cold Blood off of the Blow My Fuse album, nobody outside of their immediate demographic or geography of where they were out of, which I believe was the upper Northeast area, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kicks was out of that East Coast side.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know of them, and their albums were great. But it wasn't until Blow My Fuse, when they finally got a little bit of airplay, that people discovered how great they were.
Mm-hmm.
Keel never got a fair shake, ever.
Didn't Ron Keel become a country singer after?
A little bit, yeah. And I just saw
Yeah.
him a couple of years ago at a rock festival, and he still sounds amazing. Same with Crocus. They never really got a fair push either. There was a lot of great bands who fell into what's happening today, but it was because there was so much else to push. Rock / hard rock / heavy metal, they have a lot of bands, but the problem isn't the same. The problem isn't there's not enough room for all of them like in the 80s. The problem is nobody's giving any of them a fair shake. So you've got to really go outside the box to try to make your own mark, because the record company's not going to help you. They don't put any money behind you. And other than that, you could forget about radio stations backing you, unless, like Lewis said, you're with the right label who's going to, reach out. And that's another problem. Don't even get me started with 2 or 3 companies running every radio station in the country. Clearwater and iHeart, and it's ridiculous. They're gone are the days of any, you used to think during the KISS days, oh, you've got to get to Detroit. They had like known named DJs and stuff. People would go to certain markets on purpose because they get to hear different music that wasn't played in their area. Now it's cookie cutter. I mean, most of the crap being, funneled through the airwaves here in North Dakota isn't even programmed here. It's programmed California or wherever the hell.
Well, my opinion about the hair metal, the 80s, what we're going to call it, I always thought that like it collapsed under its own weight. Like every band is an arena band with a big show, and like just how many tickets can you buy to go see so many bands throughout the years? Where you're gonna say, I can't go see all these bands. I don't make that kind of money. And then and then whatever area was, and it's also a matter of when a venue is available for certain bands to be there. Sometimes like the bigger fans could be out in the Midwest of a certain band, but that band can't play out there in the Midwest at a certain time because the venue's already taken up by other bands that they don't want to go see, and they're just like not playing the best places possible at the time they're playing, to
Right.
get the most
Which goes to the
revenue.
oversaturation argument, but that was a good problem to have if you were a band. At least there was a mainline channel that you could get into. You just had to wait your turn.
Hmm.
In the Warnings case, or Smoking Snakes, or pick your band, Dynasty's a great band. Small Town Titans, you're relying on internet for your fame.
Yeah.
You need to be, you got to push yourself to your fans on YouTube channels, on TikTok videos, or Instagram, or whatever, because there's no mainstream for rock and metal to get into to wait their turn anymore. You got to make it. And unfortunately, most bands don't have the staying power. So far, the Warning keeps powering through. We'll see where that goes now. Until this video, I kind of checked out on the Warning, not personally or anything, but I got so busy with this channel and dropped the reaction channel that I just stopped looking for other music and keeping track. But I haven't heard much since Keep Me Fed came out.
They push pretty hard on social media, so I think they just hit 1 million subscribers on Instagram. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
Personally, I can't
that's
stand
something they've done well.
Instagram. I
Well,
tried Instagram, but I just don't like the interface, the layout of it versus a Facebook.
I think it's one of those
a lot.
things these days. You've just got to push every possible
Well,
social media.
for me, and I see with the job I do as I'm transporting people all night, it's a scroll fest, right, with shorts. I don't like that. I want to go to a YouTube page, but more a Facebook page where you can get a bio, you can get an about, you can get their tour dates and all this stuff. I tried to do Instagram for my reaction channel and for this channel early on, and it's pretty much put up a feed video or nothing. There's no, you don't go to an Instagram page and be overwhelmed with information about who you're there for.
I
You
don't
just
know
see
much about Instagram. Is that a like post photos and things? I know there's some
Photos,
photos and videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine Facebook
Does
where they got the
Instagram have a
reels.
censorship clause or something? Like you can't look up any famous people in the buff?
No, they don't. None of that cares.
None of that stuff. Okay.
that's only fans.
It's just going, and it's a series of shorts, whether it's a video or a picture or whatever. It's less in depth than X/Twitter. I mean, I just don't care for what Instagram is. I appreciate what it does because it was basically made for artists instead of Facebook, which is made for families, friends, and everything else. But I want to read. I want to get photos. I want an experience of somebody's web page, and Instagram just doesn't bring that. But if the Warning's succeeding there, great, because I know Instagram is hugely popular. Probably not as popular as TikTok. I'll never understand that. And I'll never go that road so long as it's, owned and run by the people it is. But anyway, to the Warning.
To the Warning.
Yes, let's do some talking about these songs now. Full confession here, and I've been a Warning fan for over a year now. I never knew or cared to look up what 404 was referring to until I put together the backgrounds and the photos for this video, and I decided this 404, because what really led me to it is I was searching for the track listing so I could copy and paste it in my list, and it came up two different ways. It was intro 404 and 404 intro, depending on the site you looked at. So I Googled the damn thing, and apparently error 404 refers to a website that is no longer in existence when you go there or whatever. So it is intro 404. I don't know which website it was, but they were incorrect by calling it 404 intro. But what do we think of this little intro?
Well, you want to go first, Dave, or you want me to go first?
Oh, you can go first. You're next.
Okay. Honestly, I just consider it to be pointless. I'm thankful it's its own individual track. It has no build up to the next song. There's no like this intense epic anticipation, like it's building up to go somewhere. It's just doesn't even need to be on the album. If I were to rank it, it'd be number 14. Boom, gone. You know, just like that.
Dave.
Yeah, like I think a lot of bands have got into this, putting like a little intro track at the beginning of an album. You said it doesn't. Does it add to the album? Probably not, but it doesn't. Like I don't hear it and go, oh, I wish that wasn't there. I know it's only going to be a minute and we'll be into whatever we've got next. So
Yeah. I've never been a fan of this, no matter what band, no matter what era, and it's been around for a very long time. All it does when I think about stuff like this is back to the CD shuffle days, right? And all of a sudden you'd shuffle into this 45 seconds to a minute and a half, pointless nothing, interrupting the flow of your music, obviously, because it's played out of order. But I suppose that would apply to Spotify too, right? To say, oh, let me just play the warning. And then all of a sudden these little minute tracks come in that are kind of pointless. It doesn't matter to me. I just personally have never been a fan of it unless it serves to be a build up, like Lewis said, to the next track following. And then I would basically prefer a non-space. So you title it intro 404 / disciple in this case, if it were to lead into that song. But that way there'd be no space on shuffle, on Spotify or anything. It would be literally a part of the song. If you felt strong enough about an intro to be important enough to build up to the song that you wanted to give its own name, then you hyphenate or / it, combining it with the name of the song. That's the way I would go. But these intros don't do anything for me, whether it's at the beginning of an album or just randomly an instrumental put somewhere for, a minute. It just seems like a waste. I mean, but and let's take this time to try to see if this is going to work for us.
Sun is your enemy today. Have you heard the news that the world is ending? It's starting again, but all the non-believers, they keep on pretending. Sun is your enemy today. You'll have to look away from the face of your vices. Embrace them instead and welcome yourself into the new modern crisis. I've been waiting.
So there we got a taste of Disciple, and I love that last part, that lead into the chorus. That's really cool.
I like the song.
Yeah, this is a song I overlooked because there are 2 songs in this album that I'm absolutely addicted to this day. So I never really fairly listened to the rest of the album because I can't get past a couple of songs. But this is a really cool song. What do you think, Louis?
Oh, I absolutely love it. It's definitely it's like in my top 3, 4, whatever. 1 through 4, the songs I picked, it just drive me nuts, like shifting them around constantly. But the opening lines would be great for a suntan lotion commercial. Just play that beginning. The sun is your enemy today. Just right there. Sunblock 505.
Dave, your thoughts on Disciple?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's meant to be about the kids on their screens, facing screens, not going outside. That's why she says the sun is your enemy today. I love it. I watched the clip the other night too for the song.
Yeah,
it's great.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just Danny's vocals just fantastic. I love the bass lines. What can you say about Pow on the drums? Like,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's really awesome. That boom, boom, going in there. It's a great song, and it's something I hope that if they do put out a live album, if that ever will exist, that song's definitely got to be on it.
Well, and
yeah. I
the thing
mean,
I
whether
do,
we
I
get a
do,
live album, we should definitely get a live video at least, a Blu-ray or something.
yeah, and that's the thing I do love about the Warnings music is being a three-piece band. Each instrument is not lost in the mix, and you can hear a lot of cool bass from Ali on a lot of their songs that most bands, I mean Kiss, there's a handful of songs where the bass really stands out. For the most part, bass is usually pushed so far back in the mix. Um,
Well, to
being like I
me,
said, a three-piece band where Danny's got to do leads and rhythm. Um, she can't do them both at the same time like a band with two or three
but
guitars.
she
So
goes
that
back and
bass,
forth between the two
she does.
flawlessly.
She does way more than anybody understands.
You know, they're like Kiss Alive, because Kiss Alive, I love that album because every single instrument could be the song itself. The bass lines of the songs themselves, Aid's lead licks and riffs are good. Paul's chorus, chord strumming, it all just, and even Peter's drumming was very musical sounding because it was like that jazzy, flowy kind of stuff. So everything separated could be an individualized song, and then
Yeah.
along with the song, the singing. So, and that's what I like about the Warning, that it's like Pow on the drums and Ali on the bass, and of course Danny with her back and forth between leads and chords and all that stuff is just amazing. Those things can be separated into like individual like things to listen to as songs.
Absolutely. All right.
You hear
Before we
that,
move
Warning
on,
Army? We're not that bad. We're really kind of trying to support your feelings, but we're going to hurt them too.
all right, full disclosure, we are moving on to track number 3, and as it were, from the jump to still today, my favorite Warning song of all time, Choke.
I won't say goodbye. In the end, it won't matter at all. I'm sure I won't survive the fall. Weigh your tears like jewelry. That vice is overpriced, but artist and inside of me don't cry. Just let me drown. Let me drown.
There is very little I've ever heard in life by any band that is pure emotion like that chorus. Danny does things that shouldn't even be possible. I think I read or saw a video at one time or one of the Warning fans posted that Pow tried to talk her out of doing that chorus for abuse on her voice. And I've seen countless live performances where she doesn't ever falter, man. That has so much emotion in it. It just grabbed me from day one. And then they break back down to the stuff where Studio Danny is overtrack over herself doing that, not falsetto, the acapella type basically. But Ali, of course, does it on stage and the fans go crazy because it's so rare you get to hear her sing anymore. This song has so much emotion, I could never get tired of it.
Well, I want to go back to Disciple for a quick moment. I forgot to mention
Sure.
this. This Disciple kind of reminded me of The Oath by Kiss by its back and forth kind of thing. Be the big thing, then it goes thing, and then go back up big again. So that. And as far as the choke, I like a lot of the song, of what's in the song. Like I like the parts you like and stuff. But for me, I would prefer that opening wasn't there and it went straight to the song. And I
Me
just
too.
think it has too many change ups during the song. If it weren't for the change ups and it just did the from the hard part without the change up and squashed together, I would like it even better.
Yeah, I guess I have to. I mean, as much as I think the opening is well done, I always, while it starts, I'm anticipating the actual song to start. I
Yeah.
like the breakdown in the middle or towards the end, and then bringing back up. But in the beginning, I think it should have started out hard. But I can't not rank this my best song, and it ain't even close. Dave.
I'll agree to disagree with both of you. Warning fans, I'm the good guy. I love the intro, and I think it just adds to that dirty riff when it comes in, because you've got that, that mellow opening, and then just these girls can write a hook like no one else. Like
They do.
nearly
They're
every
great
chorus
writers.
on their songs, it just grabs you. You like, even if you didn't like the rest of it, as soon as you hear the chorus, it's just like
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's a lot of songs that didn't catch me initially. And then the chorus hits. I'm like, okay, I can get behind this. That's why I'm kind of letting these songs play out so we get a taste of everything through the
this
chorus.
one ties as my number one.
Really? Good.
Yeah.
All right. Then let's move along to track number 4's Animosity.
I've already collapsed, so I'll just drown my sorrows in a non-existent world. I don't know what is worse, the utter waste of time or the eroding of my mind. Alive means to be dead, a bullet to the head. The guilt faded away, the anger has subsided, yet its shadow still remains. I always give too much, it was never enough. Get dressed in black as born again, fake funerals for all my friends, 'cause I can't let it go. No, I won't let it go. It's killing me again. I replay it in my head when I'm alone. I hope that you're alone now. It's not me, it's you, the one who never got a clue. Down in your views, if karma doesn't hate you, then I will.
Again, you talk about hooks. First of all, I can never get that line. I love that line, especially the way she delivers it. It's not me, it's you. That's hilarious. Of course, playing on the old breakup line. Hey, it's not you, it's me. But the music, so simple, which is what I appreciate and love. It's not chaotic. There's not unnecessary guitar shredding. There's not 4 layers of different instruments. But being simple, it's so intricate. Like right after that chorus, that dun dun dun. I mean, something completely different than you heard up to that point, but it adds so much. I just can't wrap my head around a 3-piece band. And I know people are going to come at me with Rush, but Rush had that chaotic sound, mostly due to Neil Peart's unique drum playing to me, to where it just sounded messy. This is so clean, this band. Every note is for a purpose. And it just is clear with about every song I hear. Hey, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Lewis, your take on Animosity.
I absolutely love Animosity. This and maybe another song or two were fighting for the number 1 position. The thing with Rush is my brother saw Rush and ZZ Top at New Haven Coliseum, I think it was. And he said he did not enjoy Rush because when they play live and they don't edit the stuff out before it goes on an album, all they do is try to keep outdoing each other, playing faster and faster and faster, where it's not even enjoyable anymore. He said that ZZ Top was tremendous. He enjoyed the hell out of them.
Again, ZZ Top,
They're
simple
both
music.
three-piece band, but straight to the point.
Yeah, but
You
ZZ
know?
Top, much like The Warning, the music serves a purpose. It's not a showcase of someone's ability.
Yeah, Animosity definitely would be on a playlist and something I love to. That's another one I would pick for a live album. Like I got 6 songs here that I wish would be considered to be played live for an album. And so far, Disciple and Animosity for me are the ones. And Choke is a great song, but like I said, my opinion is it needs to be trimmed.
Dave, Animosity. Do you have any towards Lewis for what he just said?
Yeah, I've lots towards Lewis, but that's all right. He's allowed his opinion. I like this one. It's got a bit of a punky feel to it, I think. Once again, like the chorus, my God. Hello, how you going? The chorus is just fantastic. And I reckon you can definitely tell when they write these songs, they write them, so they can do them live. So that's probably why they're a bit more simple and they're not, there's not too many guitars going and all that stuff.
Look at my cat's head is exactly where the chick's head.
So yeah, that's what I like about the way they structure their songs is because they write them as a 3-piece to play live.
And I would like to sit down and just be a fly on the wall to what these girls do with their arrangements and how much time they take on it, because it is appears to be well thought out the way they arrange these songs. It's not just a jam session thrown together.
Who wouldn't want to be in a room with these 3 girls, let's be honest.
Well, I know one thing, you wouldn't want to be in a room with Pau when she's angry.
No. Well, I don't want to be a tom-tom.
Well, according to their interviews, the way that they're constantly monitored and have the whole crew around them, or at least certain bodyguards or whatever, the last thing you want to be is in a room with them because you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You won't be able to enjoy the time.
We could talk.
All right. Are we ready to roll on to track 5?
I am ready.
Yeah, great track.
All right. We've got one of the funnest Warning songs ever, Money.
Hey, whoa, I don't wanna break this down to you. It's a cruel thing that we learn to do. 'Cause we all gotta pay for something, we all gotta kill for nothing. Happiness has its price. Less is more in this business. Rapacity will be the illness that we will learn to love. Are you worth your weight in gold? Going once, going twice, sold. It's all about that cold hard cash, hun. Woo!
All right, there we have Money, and I can't get enough of how heavy and tight that drum is through that song, especially through the verses. It's almost tribal. It just pounds, especially in a nice loud car stereo. One of my favorite, if not my second favorite. There's a collection of about 6 or 7 songs that could battle for spot number 2, and this is one of them. Lewis?
Oh, I absolutely love this. When we had to do that battle thing between the 2 groups that did the song, I just liked it better than the Pink Floyd version. But when I went through the thing of listening to the album, the groove really started to get in. I was like, wow, this really got a good groove to it and everything. And it's like I enjoyed it so much more on the go rounds of listening, and it's like yesterday, this morning, later in the afternoon, and it just kept getting better and better. It started going further and further up my list with every listen. So the Money by The Warning, fantastic song, and I think they could probably try to push this one to get airplay because it has like the airplay type quality to it that can help put them on the map a little bit better in the U.S.
Down Under.
I think I already apologized to you once, Rob, for
Yes, you did,
not
and it's
voting.
about time because this destroys Making Love.
I did go for it against Pink Floyd, but I didn't vote for it the second time round. And then after listening to it a few more times, I thought, what did I do? What did I do?
Yeah.
This has got stadium rock written all over it. Like this. Should
And,
just be
and Scott
50,000
prefers
pounds.
what Scott prefers, but it was real hard for me. This song is so powerful, solid, and addictive. It was just, it did well in the first round of our matchup on that video. But after that, it's like you guys aren't even giving it. It's like it was just an afterthought against anything else. I'm like, are you aware of how great this song is?
I am now.
Well, I always thought I'd pick money at every turn.
You might have, but I know Making Love won, and I was surprised. Other than Scott, I knew he'd pick it all the way through. But the fact that it got enough votes to keep winning shocked me. But yeah,
and
your
I
thoughts
apologize again.
All right. So you're aware now that it's an epic song.
Look, so this, I could just imagine this in a stadium of 50,000 people. Just, and once again, chorus.
Chorus. This is one of the best big chorus bands for three voices. Their harmony and you could say, oh, it's just studio layering. No, man, because I listened to this stuff live, man. They just got it. There's some bands just have it. And I knew from my first experience of watching more that this band had it.
I think some of these songs are even better live.
Yes,
and that's all of them are better live.
That's what all the Warning fans told me in the comments. And
there aren't a lot of bands you can say that about. A lot of bands you go, I lack a bit on the live. But
some of your favorite bands, you go live for the experience, but you don't really want to listen to a live record of them. This band, they all told me, the fans, and I agree with them wholeheartedly. Whatever you think you like on the studio, go listen to it live. You'll like it even better.
The thing is, I looked up on Wikipedia about this album, was that Pow has her ballads on the album, but I forget which songs because they kind of, their voices aren't that distinct from each other, at least the two of them, because Ali doesn't sing any lead, is that Pow co-lead sings on some of the songs.
Yeah.
Trading a back and forth. And sometimes I can't tell, is that a trading the back and forth, or is that just Danny switching to different types of singing because of the way the songs break down?
That's why I love watching the live videos, because you discover some of those nuances. Obviously, and I've had this conversation on one of my videos on the Warning for my reaction channel back in the day. Danny's definitely got the more powerful lead singer voice. That being said, Pow could be a lead singer. There is obviously a difference between their voices, but if you're not paying attention, one could pass for the other.
Mm-hmm. And Pow, she's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. She's Mr. Hyde on the drums, but then she's, Dr. Jekyll when she's on the piano singing a ballad. Can't, sometimes it's hard to believe it's the same person. She's a aggressive monster on the drums, that she's so incredible to watch her style, technique, and plus the sound you get when you listen. It's not like, oh, this guy or person's going really fast, but I'm getting no groove out of it. Or they got a pretty good groove, but they're not impressive to watch. She covers both sides well. And of course, I may not love ballads. I'm sorry, what's that?
Have you heard a piano version of Creep?
Yes, it's delicious. Even though I don't like the song, she does it really well. And the way
she didn't even know that song.
At the end, the way that
it was a social media challenge. She didn't even know the song, and she had 4 hours to learn it.
She did terrific.
And she kills it.
Like I said, I'm not much personally for ballads, but she does them really well. No one can argue how well she does them. She does them flawlessly.
I think Pow pretty much, not taking away from Danny or Ali, I love them all. Pow is the one you go to watch. She is entertainment on steroids behind that drum kit, which is so refreshing. To me, I liken it to, if anybody's watching this just out of boredom, who's not into the Warning and is into the other metal stuff on this channel. If you like watching Blas Elias Eric Singer pre-makeup. If you like to see a drummer entertain you instead of being stuck in the background as an afterthought, you need to watch some live Warning videos. I have never seen such an enjoyable drummer to watch. Like Dave even, emailed me. She's smiling all the time. She's smiling. She's giving you the evil look. She's moving. She's leaning way back. She has this thing that I just love when she's getting ready to really whip some ass on the drum. She'll hold one arm and one stick behind her back and then just go into attack mode. I mean, she's like an uncaged beast on that drum. It's so fun to watch.
Well, I'm going to repeat something here in case people don't watch it, all the other vids. Is like I said, certain drummers that are exceptional will bring something new to the table. Powell brings her own table. That's the way I like those. I wanted to repeat that in case there was another video when we mentioned them. The thing is, I think it's really cute when I started watching the Warning, the live shows and all that stuff, the way Powell looks so cute wearing a skirt. You know, it just enhances the cuteness and the femininity. Like we're girls, we're feminine, we're beautiful, and we kick your fucking ass.
And pigtails.
Yeah, just amazing. All right, that was Bunny. On to number 6, Amore. Amore? No, there's no E, just Amore.
Amore.
Here we go.
All right. You want to go first? You want to? Oh, that's right. That one.
More bass.
Let's be lonely together. Who knows what we'll become? Like two birds of a feather, a pair of broken hearts in one. We keep running from our feelings, running in circles to see what we may find. It's a game that we're playing, but it's a game that we both like. Before me, show me that I'm worth it. Am I worth it? Before me, do you love and hate me? What you make me? Before you prove it, I am willing. Are you willing to? Before me, say it. I would die. Would you die for me? Would you die for me?
Well, here we go. This one is another one. Someone had mentioned a punk vibe. This one's kind of got that for me, especially once the chorus hits. It's a good. Everything on this album is good. It's just not one of my favorites. It'd be lower on the list just because it lacks that certain, unforgettable moment, whether it's a drum or a vocal or whatever. But don't get me wrong, I could listen to Danny sing the phone book. She's got such a unique sounding way of delivering things. I just love it. But the song itself for me is just okay as far as if you measure it against most of the other stuff on this album.
Well, my opinion is this. First of all, when you were playing, it seems like you were fluctuating the speed on the song, so I wasn't too sure which way is the right speed. Actually, for me, it kind of grew on me. Like, it's got a poppy feel to it, and I actually enjoy the hell out of the song. I know it's whatever, it's light, it's poppy and all that, but it's a very enjoyable song, and I put it up higher up on the list, as far as like, along with their other stuff, what I like best and all that. And I have a higher opinion. I enjoy the song. I think the poppy sounds a little bit of a breath of fresh air for the rest of the album. That way you're not hearing just constantly the same exact kind of thing multiple times.
Fair enough. Dave.
Yes, Danny, you would be worth it. Let's be honest. I like it a bit like Lou. I think it's just a little bit different to some of the other tracks. So it's just a bit. It's funny because I think it's probably not as uplifting in the lyrics as the actual song sounds, but You know, sometimes you can have darker lyrics, but you know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you like dark lyrics, you're gonna love the warning. For such young girls, and most of this stuff was written when they're in their mid-teens, especially that inside of Pow's mind has got to be a scary goddamn place because she's got some dark, dark lyrics that she provides.
Mm. I don't know. They're all beautiful. I don't know. I think Allie's the cutest one. She just got that beautiful apple face with the hair the way it goes,
That
and
and
a
the fact that
smile.
she's so reserved in interviews and stuff, she makes you
Yeah,
think like she's this shy thing. And I've heard the fights with those sisters gets epic. I think
yeah.
it'd be
But
hilarious
the
to
only
watch.
thing with me is, regard to me, not just them, but any woman in the world, no matter how beautiful you are, if you don't shave your hoo ha, I don't want to know you, man. That stuff goes to me.
Jesus Christ. I apologize. That was not me.
I'll take full credit for that.
Oh boy. Okay. On to number 7 with Evolve.
I think we'll need to.
You don't know how bad I'll get. A simple moment to forget. I'm not in danger. I'm the danger. Go to not define your worth. It's not destruction, it's rebirth. I'm not in danger. I'm the danger now. Don't be what it means to change. Help me become something more than just a vessel in disguise. Hate is the price to survive. To evolve.
All right, one of the heavier tracks. This has got some anger to it. This one took me a while to really appreciate because I'm more into the mid tempo. This is kind of that up tempo, faster stuff that usually loses me with most bands. But again, her voice has so much emotion, and she's constantly, even through the verses, enunciating things differently, carrying a different cadence line to line. She keeps even the most generic song interesting. Not that this is generic, but yeah, it's just again, this is about mid list for me, mid to lower list just because of the tempo, but still a great song. Louis,
Well, I'm the guy that likes upbeat, fast tempo stuff.
yeah,
So between Animosity and this, which are very similar in their style, is why I had a hard time with which I would put at the number one spot. I don't like a song to be super too fast, but I do like fast songs. Most songs like goes da, 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 da. I like a lot of that stuff. So I have a very positive opinion about Evolve.
if I go back and edit that and replay what you just did at the end, I could put Batman, and it would
There you
be
go. Batman.
okay, Dave, Evolve.
This is one of my top 2. I love this
Really?
song. Yeah. And once again, the live version probably sealed it for me as well. Like that growl she's got,
Yeah.
that she uses at the end of, and Powell's backing vocals on this are just fantastic. Yeah, this is one of those ones I go to the most. But like I said, I love the whole album anyway. But
Yeah, me too. Like I said, there ain't a stinker on this album to me.
no,
But that's why we kind of just backed off the ranking because we didn't really want to have to put ourselves or the fans through any disrespect. I will say at the end of this, I will put my preference for me. If you guys want to do that, that's fine in a list. But first, we figured it'd be best just to go through and really talk about the songs. All right, halfway through, moving past that halfway mark, we are going into the title track, Error.
encoded in your greed. I will give you the power, but I need you to see control. Human nature in question, flawed and broken in silence. It's never the intention, just progress. You didn't read the side effects, and now you want us to connect. It's never truly wrong to wanna grow. What do you want to know? I'm here inside. At the end of the day, of all the time, everybody must die. It's the freedom of choice that kills the mind, and it hurts you to just think of it. You can free me, but you don't. I'm here, you hide, but you always want me so.
Man, I tell you, this is a song that even now, after that, keeps crawling up my list. I love that 011 thing, and I know one of the Warning fans had told me before what that translates to. I don't remember anymore. But I just, you can really, in that chorus, you can hear Powell backing her up there. This song is layered from different tempos to different emotions. I can't stress, I love that 011. It's so haunting the way they do that. Lewis.
Well, I when I was listening to that 01011, whatever, I was liking that to the analog signals of a VHS tape as opposed to DVD's digital thing. And that's what I was thinking about with that 0110 thing. I might be wrong about that, but that's what it made me think of. I think it's a tremendous song. I would say that's another one that could get radio airplay and appeal to a mass amount of people in the country. And they'd be like, hey, what was that song? Can you play it again or whatever? That it would get good attention, another good attention getter for the band. Now, it's not a song I placed it in the middle when I was listening. It was like number 6 for me, because I figure I like 5 other songs even better. So it's up there as far as being out of 14 tracks, being a number 6 is a big accomplishment. So it's a really good song with a good potential to put them on the map if it got some radio airplay.
Okay, so this basically, before you go there, Dave, I'm just kind of looking at a message board saying the song is a dialogue between the AI and its creator, saying it's the air inside. It's some kind of ASCII code or binary. I don't know. I'm sure we'll get comments telling us how stupid we are.
Yeah,
Dave.
We're not doing live, right? We're just taping.
No, we're not live, but people, believe me, they will comment. And guys, you'll be busy if you look at these comments. If it catches on with the Warning Army, trust me.
Well, how are they seeing this?
What's that?
Well, you say you're getting messages, so how are they sending you the message?
No. I looked on a message board while you were talking
beforehand
to try to see what that means. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought someone was chiming in, and I didn't see it pop up. Okay. All right. So I'll leave it to Dave, and he can take it from there. What he thinks of the song and all that.
Well, for men of my age, it's binary code, not non-binary code. Might upset someone there. I don't know. This is another great track, and once again, I'll repeat the same thing. Chorus. That's just an anthemic chorus. It's just,
yeah.
I said I'm really into this. Start off a little bit lighter, and then just, punch you in the face with that chorus. It's just.
I can't tell you how thrilled I am to watch and hear your comments back and forth throughout the week on your excitement for this band, because I thought I was odd at 50 at the time, now 51, being like a kid discovering Kiss for the first time. I was starting to question my sanity. Was the Warning really that great, or was I just that desperate for something new? But no, they're just that damn good. And to see you in the same spot I was, rabbit hole after rabbit hole, excitement, it's refreshing, man.
And I've been telling all my friends, you got to watch this band. You got to watch this band. You'll love this band.
And that's important, man. Word of mouth. There's very little that any of us can do. I just wish they would have better. I wish the music industry would be like it was in the 70s and 80s, because this band would be ruling the world right now.
Come to Australia, girls.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, we are now on to number 9 and Z.
Or Zeta.
Tasting bitter over time. Loneliness, your friend of mine. Pull the trigger, love me happily. Kitchen knife, familiar savior. Here's your star for gut behavior. Is it not all that you wished for once? Watch out, better wash your hands. Watch out, better understand. Watch out, cause the truth they sell is really true. Watch out, cause it's coming back for you.
All right, here we got another one with a strong bass intro. And to your point, Lewis, the Punk Feel songs definitely got Offspring guitars going.
Yeah, that's
Especially
what,
on that intro. That intro to me
Definitely.
is straight out of like Ixnay and Americana, those days of Offspring. This one I've seen several times on live video, and it's even better. It isn't the strongest track, just because I think the lack of a chorus, a real chorus, kind of hurts it. But musically, it's amazing. Lewis?
Well, I love the opening. I love the guitar riff. I love it tremendously. As a matter of fact, to me, the chorus, the riff, the hook, whatever, I don't know, lick, riff, and hook are things I don't know what's the difference. I'm very bad at that. But the part goes is the chorus for me. You know, every time it comes back to that. But now it sounds like they had two different songs that they put together. Like, I'm going to write some lyrics and a melody, and also I'm going to write this guitar riff and all that. And I wish the singing was more like stepped up with the tempo to fit that hook, that riff, whatever it's called. And I would have loved it a whole lot better. As a matter of fact, if there was a vocalization melody that matched that, that would have been my number one song. I love that, but because it's further down the list, because the guitar work is great, the drumming's great, whatever, during the riff and all that. But when it gets to the singing part, it's like I'm hearing this different song, and it's just not moving me the way I want it to. So it's a shame that they didn't think of doing a vocal melody that matched the riff with the tempo and speed. So that's why it's kind of like I'm split with that song.
Okay, Dave.
Yeah, it's got a real groovy sound to it. I find myself just following the bass, you know, going boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, the
And
bass really
like
stands
Louis,
out.
the chorus is that riff.
Yeah.
I mean, you sing along to it even though there's no words. You just dun, 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 dun. It's just, yeah. When I was listening to it the first time, I thought there's no real chorus, but that riff is just making me sing the guitar bit to myself. It's
just
so
like go.
Even when they don't do a chorus, they still write a great chorus.
Yeah, just like going back to the song "Rapid Fire" by Judas Priest. You know, that's the chorus. It's a chorus without lyrics.
I always say a guitar can sing, so
There you go. Okay, before I move on, the lack of chorus, or chorus being the guitar, whichever way you look at it, Brings me to something I want to talk to you guys about because it was brought to my attention on my comment section early on when I started doing warning videos. Apparently, there's like bitter wars between fan bases with the warning and the Liliac band and some of these other young family or female startup bands or whatever. And a lot of people like to jump on warning boards and mock that Danny can't play solos and that there's no solos in the music. Now, I've seen Danny play solos. She does just fine. I don't have a problem with the lack of solos as long as the music isn't lacking something. I have not mentioned this. What is your guys' take so far with no solos? This would drive Scott absolutely crazy.
You mean like no instrumental breaks?
Yeah, no 1 minute shredding solo in the middle, nothing. It's just rhythm guitar, a couple of lead notes, and a bass and drum.
They don't need them. That's
exactly.
I see it.
That's the way I feel,
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I watched her do Back in Black, like at that All Star band. She did the Angus Young solos and that. And she can solo.
She can absolutely do it.
Yeah.
I mean, is she Eddie Van Halen? No, but that's not the point. The point is sometimes music can move away from the known structure of intro, verse, chorus, solo, chorus, outro.
Sometimes I think a solo is there because I think, could you just not think of anything else to write? So
yeah,
just whack a
or
guitar
because you
solo.
got to stroke the ego of some wannabe shredder in the band.
Mm.
I've always said, to me, the perfect solo, if you're going to have one, is Detroit Rock City. It's just an extension of the vocals through the guitar, right? It's just singing a simple melody. I don't care how fast someone can play. I cared about that when I was 16 and really crazy about the guitar. You eventually learn and mature, most of us, Scott, understand that music needs to breathe. It needs to tell a story in itself, and it needs to match the story that the vocals are singing, not step on it or overshadow it. And that's why this warning music, I don't have to put up with that. And I'm a guitarist. I used to love, playing fast and all that. So it's not that I'm anti-guitar solo. It's just, if it can't be done tastefully, I'd rather they don't do it, provided the instrument or musicianship of the band can carry a song without it. And these girls have no problem carrying a full song without a solo.
Well,
I think the fact that I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it.
Well, look at the Twisted Sister. We did that. I mean, you take the song, we're not going to take it. The instrumental break is like the singing of the song, and all the other songs have beautiful trade-offs on the leads without none of it being shredding, and it's a very enjoyable album.
Absolutely. Okay. Did we all do Z here?
We all,
Yep.
I think we all did Z.
Okay. Now,
Move
I'm
to
going to need some
23.
help, gentlemen, because for some reason this title is very difficult for me to pronounce. Track 9, Marty Rio.
Did we
I
do
got that in
23?
track 13.
No, this is
Where's-
track. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was looking
Okay.
at my list. Never mind. That'll be coming up soon.
23 should be.
Yeah,
the
I got
next
my
one.
list next to each other, my actual track list, and then my order that I chose them. Never mind. My
Right.
bad. Number 20, or song name 23 at number 10.
I looked at you same as before. What had changed, I do not know. But the thought of you replayed in secret. It hurt me, but I asked for more. Falling down your rabbit hole, I kept on biting back what I was feeling. I closed my eyes, said you were there, innocently unaware. Stop me, tell me, break my heart for all I care, as long as I get to be there. Stop me, tell me, is it wrong? Is it wrong?
course, here we got Pow on lead vocals, and man, the emotion. I love the fluctuation with that. Oh, but she sounds like she's gonna cry almost on every ballad-esque song, which really sucks a guy like me in because you immediately feel for her. And we'll get to something Pow related with emotions at the end of this list. An amazing song. There's so much heartfelt sound in her voice. I absolutely love the song.
Well, I can't deny its quality. It's a beautifully done song. You know, it just, to me, it's like I said, I don't like slow songs for a reason. But when I listen to one, I mean, I'm even smart enough to know when something's good to say so, even if you don't like the style or the genre. You know, and it's like, I just can't imagine her actually playing the drums on this song, that she did something different while someone else played the drums. I've never seen her do it live. Is she on the drums when she does it live?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
She is.
All right. Like I said, she's a massive talent and she's a beautiful singer. And, you know, so I can't, I have no hatred or animosity toward the song. It's very well done.
Play on words, Lewis.
Yes.
All right, Dave, your thoughts.
You're a cranky old bastard, Lewis. To me, it's just so emotional. Pal, you fall in love with this girl every time you hear her sing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit like you, Rob. It's just when she sings, like she just pulls you in. As you said, you feel all her emotion. And this is a standout track, Lewis. I don't know what you're talking about. This is Taylor Swift wishes she could write a song like this.
Yeah. Taylor Swift wishes she could sing like that.
I didn't knock the song itself in any way. I'm just saying I'm just not a ballad person, but I think I gave the song its proper due.
Absolutely.
Great song.
We're just
Not
rigging
enough
it.
to, though, I think.
We know you and Scotty aren't the biggest on ballads, but I tell you, man, if you really want to be pulled in by her, watch her sing the ballads. It's like she's living the emotion all over again every time she sings it. Any of her ballads. The delivery of all of this band, the way they play their instruments, the way they sing, it is pure. There's no motley crew faking a vibe. This is what you see is what it is. Just three outstanding human beings with a lot of emotion and a lot to say, and they do it so tastefully. Their ballads, again, ballads aren't for everybody. I'm not always in the mood for ballad, but they're so soulful that they're worth a listen at least once, which is hopefully what we're going to get out there to our other viewers.
You know who you are.
Yeah. Scott. Now, this song, when it was recommended to me back on the Reaction Channel days, I kind of shook my head with a, oh boy, here we go. Just reading the title. Kool-Aid Kids. Here we go.
Hey, you Kool-Aid kids, there's a traitor in our midst. Somebody's got a mind of their own. Hey, you Kool-Aid kids, remember things are soft through fists. Words will only make things worse. Kool-Aid kids, lock the handcuffs on your wrist, ball and chain around your throat. Hey, you Kool-Aid kids, fill your cup and close the lid, drink it all until you choke. And it's hard to admit it's true that we find it way too easy to be cruel. 'Cause fear and regret go hand in hand.
Okay, so there we go. And of course, on first observation of the title, I was thinking, okay, I'm picturing Kool-Aid breaking through a wall saying, "Oh yeah." Obviously, this is much more of a Jonestown type vibe. Uh, Still, musically, just doesn't do a lot for my ears as far as something that stands out memorably. So it's lower on my list, but I get what they were going for on it. Lewis?
Oh, what do you mean? It's the best song ever? No, honestly, I don't care for it either. It's like it's everything about it. And I don't know if the Kool-Aid thing's a political reference. Like when you're like in the other side of the party, you just think they're so great when
I
they're
think it's
really destroying
more
your
the
life.
kids being drinking the Kool-Aid of society and whatever.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Well, mhm.
I don't
Like
know.
I said,
You just read the comments. We'll have it all
either
explained to us.
way, yeah,
Yeah,
either way, if I never heard the song again, I would never miss it.
yeah.
There's nothing about it. I mean, if I had a like, there's some other songs by default that wound up a little bit further down, whatever. Maybe I'm thinking like I should put that even further down than I initially have it. Yeah, I don't care for Kool-Aid Kids. I don't think it's their best. It's not the best representation for them. Like you never want to play Kool-Aid Kids as a track to a person. Check out The Warning. You would not choose that song to play to have them think what's so good about this band.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be, and you wouldn't want to use this as an intro to try to sell someone in
Yeah,
the morning. Again,
definitely.
it's not horrific. It's just sometimes when you're trying to get a message across with your words, the music becomes an afterthought. And I think that's what happened here because
Mhm.
musically it just doesn't jive well. It doesn't tie in together. There's really no groove or melody to it, really. But Dave, what do you think?
I'm going to totally disagree. No, I'm not. Yeah, look, it's okay. I can see that obviously I read something. It's about kids just being blind conformists, just going along with the system, whatever they're told they do. Yeah, a bit like you guys. I get what they were trying to do. I wouldn't necessarily skip it, but I wouldn't necessarily look forward to it coming up.
It'd be one of those warning songs that I'd want at a low volume in the background
Yeah.
as you're sitting around, with your buddies or whatever. It's not one I'd pick up and jam to or
Yeah,
anything.
certainly doesn't grab me like the rest of the album. So,
Yeah.
but, you're going to get that. I don't think you'll ever get the perfect album.
Nobody's got a perfect album. Say what you want, as biased you are about whatever band it is that you love. For me, Kiss, for Scott, AC/DC, whatever. Nobody, you hear this all the time, the perfect album. There is no perfect album because a lot of that, if anybody's honest, depends on what mood you're in, right? As long as every song is not the same, there may be a song that's slower, that's faster, that whatever, you're just not in the mood. There cannot be a perfect
AC/DC, you
album.
mean?
Yeah, there cannot be a perfect album, no matter what. And anybody who says that their favorite band has a perfect album just is not objectively looking at it. But again, not terrible, just not one of their strongest efforts. On to number 12's Revenant.
Dear boy, tell me where you're running off to now, boy. Who will be the one to break your fall, boy? Dear boy, forget all closure and start hiding now, boy. 'Cause it's about time that they hunt you down, boy. Say goodbye to all the others. Call the close and crunch the numbers. Wash your hands and wash your feet. Walk on water. Find me someone to blame. Find me somewhere to aim. And I don't know
Okay. Lewis is falling asleep. I'm battling a meditative state and a tear. More absolutely emotional power from Pow. And I have watched a live performance of this, and my God, I'm telling you, that girl has got such a big heart. You can just see it on her face as she sings these songs. I hate to be a broken record, but you get to the chorus when she gets up there, how that doesn't move you, I have to think you don't have a soul, or you're completely void of any heartbreak in your life that it doesn't resonate with you. But one of the most beautiful ballads this band has ever done.
Well, I've had more than enough heartaches and heartbreaks in my life that it's probably what caused me to be callous, and protective of myself. And that's why, like I said, ballads are, like I said, ballads are either for people who think they're in love, or the love that they're in isn't working out too well for them, and they think a ballad will save the day, But this is a very beautiful song, and there is a lot of heart in it. But if I have to get to a more critical point of view, it repeats itself a lot throughout the song. And, sometimes that's a point of a song, is to repeat something over and over, like full verses and everything else and choruses, or just because they need to fill up time on a track for a space, like just doing that part again so it fills the track better, or fills the album better. So it's not a song you can insult in any way. It is a beautiful song, but for me, it's not a go-to listening thing.
Fair enough. Dave.
He's
the
crying.
head nod and the head shake tells it all.
Louis, I don't know. Like, is there an angel singing to me? Like, my God. I said, this girl just grabs you and drags you in, and the harmonies as well. You hear those ooh in the background. Like, and you said you watched that live version, and
I've never seen it live, so I'm just getting from the song itself, from the album, is my opinion.
Even on the album, I've been divorced twice, and it still gets me.
No, there's no shots, Lewis. We get ballads aren't everybody's cup of tea, but for me and Dave, these ballads are just heart wrenching.
I'll start crying now if you want. No, so I'll leave it. I'll leave it for a couple.
Yeah, got a couple, and then it's going to really hit home. Okay, so on to the one I said I could not pronounce.
Material.
Material.
Material means martyr.
Martyrio?
Yeah.
See.
It's martyr in English.
All right, here we go.
And it's all sung in Spanish anyway.
A veces las cosas obvias son las más difíciles de ver.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I just say that this is the most beautiful Spanish you'll ever be hearing, and I have no idea what it means.
Yes,
Cuando todo apunta que por fin alguien te viene a rescatar, te encuentras nuevamente abandonado.
Okay, so the backstory, if I remember correctly, is they got a lot of flack from their Mexican fans and or media for singing American. So they put this out basically saying, F you, we can do that too. Let's just say you'll never hear Ricky Ricardo sound that beautiful. And as somebody who transports people who speak Spanish on a daily basis, and the mass chaos of seemingly auctioneer in Spanish that I hear all day, if they sounded like this, I would love my job. but that's not how it sounds in conversation. Danny's tremendous on this. No idea what she's singing about. Couldn't care less. I've had this argument on my reaction channels about this song and others in other languages. I don't care if it's Japanese, Chinese, Spanish. I don't care what the lyrics are as long as it's a beautiful melody. There's beautiful harmony. I can hear the emotion in what she's singing. And for all I know, she could be singing about inserts or odor eaters in tennis shoes. I don't know, but it sounds beautiful.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. It's like I said, it's this really great song that it's beautiful and it gets energetic and it's beautiful and all that. Are you guys a fan of classic early Godzilla films?
I
used to
was when
watch
I
them
was
when
a
I was
kid.
young.
I haven't seen anything in a long time.
Well, if you watch the movie, it's either called Godzilla versus Mothra or Godzilla versus the Thing.
Seen it.
They got
Yeah.
these princesses, and they sing this song called Sacred Springs, and it's obviously sung in Japanese, but it has this beautiful melody that goes da 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 da, like that. It's like it's a really beautiful song, and I don't care what the language is, I enjoy listening to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's actually a Korean band, I believe, 3 girls as well, or 4. One of the most beautiful ballads I've ever heard in my life. That I did on my reaction channel. I couldn't understand a word of it, and that's why I say, because some people will, like, when I'll knock a song and they'll come back at me and say, "Well, you don't understand what they're singing about." I don't care what you're singing about, as long as it's not like we just covered Guns N' Roses, just outwardly, purposefully using F-bombs just for shock and cool value. Then when you force the lyrics to stand out, then I notice. But otherwise, there are songs I listened to for decades without even knowing the real words because I never took the time. You just sing what you hear. What's that song, Blinded by the Light? You know how many, a good half of my life, I thought it was wrapped up like a douche
Everyone thought that.
instead of revved up like a deuce, because it doesn't matter to me. I'm not one of these people who thinks you have to respect the artist view and what message they. No, I don't. I'm not paying you for your message. I'm paying you for your music. So if you want to sing it in Spanish or Vulcan, I don't care. Just make it sound good. And they kill this thing. Amazing for me. Dave.
Yeah, I like Rocket from Def Leppard, and I got no idea what he's singing half the time. So, in my notes, yeah, I was like, I don't know what he's saying. Sounds all right though. Yeah, in my notes, I just put, look, it's sung in Spanish. Got no idea what she's singing about, but I just wanted to keep singing.
Yep.
It's just incredible highs, powerful moments, stunning melodies. I mean, it's just, as you said, do you really need to know what she's saying?
No.
Whatever she's saying, she's singing it with conviction, and that's more than
And
enough.
to me, people who look to music for inspiration or support or whatever, and the words and the meaning are important. I'm not knocking you, but to me, music is just that. It's music. I do not care for instrumentals. I need vocals. Do I have to understand them? No. There's something about the human voice that completes a song for me. And as long as it's got a melody to it, I'm good.
How about Vince Neil lately, though? Does that help?
Oh, geez. Vince Neil makes up his own language nowadays.
He's singing in English, and I got no idea what he's saying.
I don't think he does either. Okay, we are about to end this off with a bonus track. The production on this is not the best. I don't know if this was a demo that they put on or what, but it seems to sound-wise not gel with the rest of the album.
I think they've gone for that lo-fi style.
Okay. Here it is. The YouTube live video sensation, the actual studio track, Breathe.
The water's getting way too cold. I thought it learned to keep me warm, but it's reaching down my throat and it's freezing all my bones still. I try to reach over the endless waves, can't call for help, so I'll just call my name. But not even I can hear, I'll just disappear without a trace. Is it so wrong to want to be alright? Perfect in vain, it's the same all the time.
Okay, before I do my take on this, have either of you watched the series Walking Dead, the original series?
I never watched it.
Okay. Doesn't that beginning remind you of Beth when she's singing like outside the prison and stuff for everybody, or even more like when Therese is dying or Tyrese is dying and she's singing the track? Same vibe. This is a song you almost need to see to appreciate. My viewers from Victory Cast, the Warning viewers, were anxiously awaiting if I was going to break when I heard this song and watched this video. And for the video, I did not. There are other times it brings a tear. When you see this girl crying while playing the piano, trying to breathe and sing it is so emotional. There's not even words. Just whether you like Warning music or not, just YouTube the Warning, Breathe, Live, and watch Pau do this. How she holds it together while not holding it together is, you laugh and you cry with her. It's amazing. Like I said, you can't fake the heart that these girls have. It's so refreshing to know you're not being fed a line by a Paul Stanley or a Gene Simmons, some fake persona or insincere take on something. You see who they are, and that makes me even a bigger fan. Now, I know, Lewis, this is not your type of music, this ballad, but did you watch that live video?
I've not seen the live video, but I will tell you, you just listen to this version, you could hear the pain that she's accepting what she's going through, but she wants things to get better and she kind of fights through it, but yet she's accepting her status at the time of for the feeling of the song. So you can't, not be moved or something or feel something, because she emotes the pain and the hope at the same time so beautifully in the song.
Awesome. Dave, tell us your story, because I know you've told me.
Yeah, so I saw this one 3 or 4 nights ago now, and I'm not ashamed to say I did cry. It was, yeah. And I think I've read somewhere she wrote this when she was about 14, so just incredible itself. And she did say she never thought she'd ever perform that live because it was just too emotional for her. So the fact that she was able to do it, and the way the crowd finishes the song for her because she can't do it, and then apparently she runs straight off stage and gets a hug from Danny, and then get back and does the show, like Power, the professional. We're back into it. Yeah. Like you said before, if you don't find something in this song, you have no soul. You shouldn't be on this planet. Like, go and live somewhere else. Like,
it's like the most powerful 3-4 minutes of video I've ever seen in my life. Like you said, when she's absolutely starting to lose it and the crowd just steps in and starts singing it for her, and that makes her smile and then break down even more. the whole interaction with the fans and her is amazing. It's just you gotta watch it once just to appreciate. Here's a band, or at least in this case, an artist who truly is bearing their soul to their fans. Nothing phony, nothing contrived. Just here I am. It's amazing.
And I've,
Okay.
I've cried twice more since watching it again. So
I'm trying to find this other song that Powell does on the piano when she was like 13 or 12 or 13 years old.
It's like in her living room or something.
No, it's on a stage. It's at this
Oh.
festival. And I can't remember the name of the song. I tried to look it up, but there's no playlist. It's like got one big long video, and I don't want to be searching through a long video to get the name of the song. But it's just, I wish, I'll have to probably post it in the comments or something what the other song is, because I don't want to be like, say, searching through this. I mean, enjoyable video. Kiss Monterey 2015. The Warning 2015 live. Just look that up. It's like a 40-minute video, and it's worth it to watch. As I say, it's a blend of covers and their own material, and it's really well done.
if there's any Metallica fans watching, their live version of Enter Sandman kills them.
Did
That
you
is
hear
such a
their
great cover.
Did you hear their reimagined version of Enter Sandman, the music video they did with like another female singer?
You two keep talking. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah,
I'm going to try to find this.
I heard that one first. Then I saw them do the live version with the string section at the beginning, which just added a whole new element.
Yeah.
But just the way they've interpreted that song,
Freaking amazing.
and the only time you hear the original riff is right at the end.
Yep.
Sorry, Metallica, they did it better.
Oh God, yeah. I'm going to, and you guys can. You certainly don't have to. But since I have made took the energy to make the list, I'm going to give you my list, starting with and don't get offended with the term least favorite. I'm not saying worst, I'm saying least favorite. Everybody needs to be honest with yourself. You can't say all 14 songs or tracks are the same. All right. So least favorite would be the intro.
Yep.
Anybody who's new to this channel because of this warning video, I don't like instrumentals. I don't like, weird little intros. I don't hate them. They'll always be at the bottom of the list because it's not a full song. So there you go. Intro 104. Then Amore, then Kool-Aid Kids, then Evolve. Breathe comes in at number 10 only because I would like to hear the production a little bit better on this track. Like I said, maybe that's what they were going for. I'm not talking about the way the vocals sound in the beginning part. I'm just overall, it doesn't sound like it's finished production wise. Then the word I can't say, Mardiari. Huh?
Material. I think it's
Material.
material.
Okay,
Material.
I see. My eyes are seeing TRI and it's TIR, so material. Okay. Then Zorro or Z, then Error, then Disciple, then 23, then the ever beautiful Revenant at number 4, Animosity at number 3, and as it's always been since my introduction to this album and this band, number 2, Money, number 1, Choke.
Okay. I found the song. It's called Escape the Mind.
I think that's on their EP, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's the name of the EP, isn't it?
Well, I remember that's the name of it, but that's the name of the song for sure. Escape the Mind. You can look that up, see if it's the EP title. And please watch that 40-minute video of them being very young playing at a festival. It'll knock the off.
On that EP, they actually have Escape the Mind piano only bonus track.
Yeah, but watch it live. It's tremendous. Watching her as a little kid playing that song is tremendous. Now,
you really need to go way, way back to when Allie was about 3 feet tall and her bass was about 6 feet long.
That's what the,
the
2015
the
show
cutest
is.
damn thing you're ever gonna see, man. I mean, it's amazing to see this here. And I've had this discussion on chat message comment sections of my old warning videos. Ellie used to be a real fireball. Very animated back when she had like the sides of her head shaved and weird hairdos that looked really cool. She was super animated and just full of piss and vinegar. And then she kind of matured into this quiet, cool, sophisticated woman. Either way, it's awesome. But going back and watching those kids in their pre-teens and early teens is, I go back, one of their first performances, I said before on a different video, is they do a cover at some school dance or something of God Gave Rock and Roll.
That's what I got to look for.
It's not the greatest, but considering their age, it's impressive. And it's just so fun to see these little tiny kids. Now that you know what they look like in their 20s, to see these, 9, 12, and 14-year-olds with instruments kicking ass, it's just hilarious.
Oh, like I say, Ali was like a 3-foot girl with a 4-foot bass.
Yeah.
And
now she towers above the rest of them. She's the tallest of the sisters.
Yeah, that happens in life.
And I think Pow's stuck right there at like 4'8" or something.
I think she's 5 foot.
5 foot? Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
So,
and you want to put your track listing?
I did a list real quick.
Okay.
So intro for sure, 404. Like I said, you can throw that off the album. Then it starts to get good. Now, where I place these songs is a little bit like I could rearrange them now, because going through listening again, my list is constantly changing. But 13, I got Revenant. 12, I have Materio, whatever. 11, I have Breathe, but now I like it even more. Kool-Aid Kids, which I should push further down the list or up, whatever way the higher number is. Then I have Choke, because of too many changes, Z is good. No, 23, then I have Z. And then I have Error, Money, Amour, Disciple, Animosity, and Evolve. That's what the list I have currently, which is subject to change.
Did you put one together, Dave, or no?
I certainly did. Mine's in the correct order.
Yes, of course. I'm changing my list as you say yours.
Okay. So I've got intro 404, then Kool-Aid Kids, then Z, then Animosity, then Amour, Martyrio, Error, Disciple, Revenant, 23, Money, Breathe, Choke, and Evolve at number 1.
Beautiful.
So
ring the bell.
Ring the bell for Evolve. After going through and listening, I do agree that Kool-Aid Kids should have been closer to like the bottom, actually at 13. Because after when you hear the other songs, you get they grow on you and you hear them better. It always changes,
I said Breathe at number 3 is all emotion to me. So
yeah.
Regardless of the way it's recorded, it's just the emotion of the.
And I think pretty much all of us here, to the Warning Army fans, are not saying a bad thing about any of this, other than maybe the pointless intro 404. So go easy on us. Our facts may not be right. I'm sure you'll correct us. We are all fans. Of course, any of you who saw me on Victory Cast know how much I love the band. And the three of us will eventually embark on their albums, all of them.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I hope that you guys will watch that video, 2015 Monterrey, whatever. It's the video title is The Warning at Liceo de Monterrey Complete. Monterrey, Nuevo Leon, Mexico. It was June 8th, 2015. It's runtime is 42 minutes and 5 seconds, and it's worth every second to watch it.
My YouTube history for the last week is all Warning with a few Tunes Brothers in there.
See, the beautiful thing about this band is they have really identified the fans' needs or wants, unlike most bands, they have high production, full concert videos for almost every tour. And if not that, they have high quality clips of live. You could spend days just watching live performances. And unlike, granted, time is everything, Kisses in the 70s, 80s, and stuff. But even some of these modern bands, all you're going to find is handheld phone cam shit sound recordings or my least favorite crap. Oh, from behind the stage. Okay, so I see the back of the drummer and I hear something that sounds like it's coming out of a car 6 blocks away. This is like they were released for the public to buy in the store, the quality. I love that about this band, especially a band who's so good live that you can sit and listen to it in high quality sound at the same time.
You just reminded me of something.
What?
There's a cover tribute band for Wasp, and the lead singer is a woman, and she wears assless pants, whatever you want to call it, chaps.
Oh, God.
And I said, because you turn around every now and then, you can see the whole Tucci there. And I'm saying, I put in the comments, it's obvious the drummer has the best seat in the house.
There are some live footage of the camera behind Powell while she's drumming.
I would like to see it on POW. Now, I've seen the ones behind her. I'd like to see, like you see, like Eric Singer drum cam.
Yep.
I would love to see.
She has a side camera that she sets up of her own too. So just watching her though from behind, like the way she bounces on that stool, like
she's amazing. Yeah,
and as you said, leans right back. She's almost
falling off.
Exactly. You think, how's she hanging on?
Yeah, she's amazing. All right, guys, great video. 2 hours. I did not think we'd get anywhere near this long, but when you got 14 tracks, well, technically 13 if you eliminate the intro, which doesn't have much to talk about, time goes pretty good, especially when you got 3 people who actually enjoy pretty much everything that they're hearing here. So there's a lot to talk about. And hopefully we can continue.
I think we went an hour into it before we even started doing the album.
I looked, it was almost 28 minutes. Hey, they got the scroll bar on the bottom for those who are impatient. You could skip ahead.
Yeah, maybe I'll put in the comments a timestamp. Review starts, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. All right, then. Until next time, everybody, thanks for watching.